ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः तत्प्रत्ययाः किन्नु विहाय सन्तम् हृद्येष चिन्तारहितो हृदाख्यः कथं स्मरामस्तममेयमेकम् तस्य स्मृतिस्तत्र दृढैव निष्ठा मृत्युञ्जयं मृत्युभियाश्रितानाम् अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम् अथ स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु कथं पुनर्मृत्युधियोऽवकाशः सर्वैर्निदानं जगतोऽहमश्च वाच्यः प्रभुः कश्चिदपारशक्तिः चित्रेऽत्र लोक्यं च विलोकिता च पटः प्रकाशोऽप्यभवत् स एकः आरभ्यते जीवजगत्परात्म तत्त्वाभिधानेन मतं समस्तम् इदं त्रयं यावदहं मतिः स्यात् सर्वोत्तमाहं मतिशून्यनिष्ठा सत्यं मृषा वाचिदिदं जडं वा दुःखं सुखं वेति मुधा विवादः अदृष्टलोकानिरहं प्रतीतिः निष्ठा विकल्पा परमाखिलेष्टा स्वरूपबुद्धिर्जगतीश्वरे च स्वरूपधीरात्मनि यावदस्ति अरूप आत्मा यदि कः प्रपश्येत् सा दृष्टिरेका नवधिर्हि पूर्णा यत्पञ्चकोशात्मकमस्ति देहम् तदन्तरा किं भुवनं च कास्ति देहं विना पञ्चविधं तदेतत् पश्यन्ति के वा भुवनं भणन्तु शब्दादिरूपं भुवनं समस्तं शब्दादिसत्तेन्द्रियवृत्तिभास्या सत्येन्द्रियाणां मनसो वशे स्यात् मनोमयं तद्भुवनं वदामः धिया सहोदेति धियास्तमेति लोकस्ततो धीप्रविभास्य एषः धीलोकजन्मक्षयधाम पूर्णं सद्वस्तु जन्मक्षयशून्यमेकम् भवन्तु सद्दर्शनसाधनानि परस्य नामाकृतिः कृतिभिः सपर्याः सद्वस्तु निप्राप्त तदात्मभावा निष्ठैव सद्दर्शनमित्यवेहि भवन्तु सद्दर्शनसाधनानि परस्य नामाकृतिभिर्सपर्याः सद्वस्तु निप्राप्त तदात्मभावा निष्ठैव सद्दर्शनमित्यवेहि. So we are doing also concurrently, just looking at these three verses from the Pratasmarami, which is a leftover from the previous verse, Dhiya Sohodeti Dhiyastameti. So the second verse today, before we start into Saddarshanam. So I will chant the first verse and then we'll go into the second verse and talk about it a bit. This is having a wake up makeover. Yeah. Sometimes they say, oh, you need sleep hygiene. This is a new term, which is very interesting. The doctors talk about sleep hygiene, meaning don't mix up your sleep with television, phones, and always looking in the dark, updating various things. And then all these things you don't mix up your sleep with. Sleep, the room you sleep in is just for the sleep. And also don't toss and turn and think about difficult things, etc., etc. This is called sleep hygiene. No one except Vedanta talks about waking up hygiene. So, waking up hygiene means in the same way that you are asked to go to sleep with a calm mind and disconnecting from the world, in the same way you have to wake up. There should be some kind of a shuddhi in waking up also. That cannot be bypassed. It has to be there. And so therefore what? So therefore these verses give a beautiful insight into how to wake up without while leaving the human made jagat behind. You wake up without the mental jagat. That is the idea. And so these verses are for that. First one we saw yesterday. Today we'll briefly look at the second one and then come back to Saddarshanam. Om Pratasmarami Hridi Samsphuradātmatаттvam Satchit Sukham Paramaham Turiyam Yat Swapnajagara Sushuptamavaiti Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sanghaha प्रातर्भजामि मनसां वचसामगम्यम् वाचो विभान्ति निखिला यदनुग्रहेण यं नेति नेति वचनैर्निगमा अवोचन् तं देवदेवमजमच्युतम् आहुरर्ग्र्यम्. So, pratar bhajami. Bhajami means I sing the worship. I worship that. I'm committed to that. I'm in the service of that. What is that? That which is not available to be objectified by the mind or by words. So, it's not an object of the mind. Manasam agamyam, vachasam agamyam. So it is not an object of thought. It's not an object of that can be described in words. That I am in the service of. And yet, even though it's not objectified by words, the words shine, all the words shine. Nikhila vachaha vibhanti yad anugrahena, by whose permission, by whose grace. This is a very intriguing thing now. It cannot be objectified by words, but yet it is the one because of whom the words exist. Really, really nice. And then what else? Yat, that which the nigamaha means the Vedas. Avochan, that which the Vedas talked about as what? Neti neti iti vachanaihi. That which the Vedas have unfolded as not this, not this, not this. Why? Because there is a confusion about what this is. And therefore there is a problem of taking the not I for the I. So the dismissal of this not I is talked about neti neti na iti nigamaha. All the Vedas unfold this as not this, not this, not this. And when you have said not this enough number of times, that which is left is this, is you. That is what the neti neti thing is. And then what else? Then the last line, tam deva devam, devanam devam, that which is the light of all lights. Ajam, unborn, achyutam, that which is not subject to decline. Tam ahuhu, agryam, Agriya means that which is the first. Naturally, Atma is first. Because Atma came first, then everything in the Jagat, it lent its existence to. So Atma alone is first. Definitely we know this. And so therefore what? So therefore this is the next verse of this trilogy, of this three verse, a small little thing. So this is another way to wake up. So very nice way to wake up with this, the next verse. So the translation here, for people who want to write it down, in the early morning, I am in service of that which is beyond mind and speech. Or you can say that which is not the object of mind or speech, yet by whose grace all words and speech shine. The one who is expressed in the Vedas by statements, not this, not this, not this. Why? Because it cannot be, it's not an object, that's why. So, the one who is expressed in the Vedas as not this, by statements such as not this, and the one who is the light of all lights, not subject to birth, imperishable, and that which was there before all creation, before the Jagat. This is the translation. You want me to repeat it again? I can't promise the same words will come, but I can try. You want me to repeat it or no? Yes, no?
We can get
Yes,
it on,
Swamiji.
on the recording, community.
What?
We can record. We can see it again on the recording.
Yeah, you can listen again in the recording. But if people want, I can try again. In the early morning, I am in the service of that which is not the object of mind and speech, or that which is beyond mind and speech. Either of that is okay. Yet by whose grace speech itself shines, comes to light. I am in the service of that, of the one who is expressed in the Vedas by statements such as not this, not this. The one who is the light of all lights, not subject to birth, imperishable, and which was always there even before the Jagat. This is the translation. This is to replace the thoughts that come in the morning, the second of the three ones. And in fact, if you don't have time for all three, one day you do the first one, second day you do the second one, third day you do the third one. This is a new way of waking up, and so that one doesn't find oneself in a rut. Okay. Yeah. So that is that. And then we have now this verse is very nice. This verse on the sadhana is very nice. Let us look at that. Saddarshanam sadhanani parasya namakritiभिः saparyaha bhavantu. So this saddarshana, he says, is difficult to accomplish. First of all, the word darshana has already thrown us off because everyone is hungry for darshan. I want Bhagavan to manifest. Why? Why you want Bhagavan to manifest? No, I just want to touch Bhagavan and see how he feels or how she feels. This is again reproducing the Dvaita. No, never mind. I'm already in Dvaita, so I want Bhagavan very badly to come stand right in front of me. In fact, this is a pervasive spiritual romanticism. And even the greatest of saints have succumbed to that. That longing to see Bhagavan is a longing, is another longing. It looks like a very highly exalted longing. But from the standpoint of Vedanta, it's not any different from the longing to see your uncle who you love very much and who you haven't met in a long time. Same thing. Bhagavan has become uncle. That's all. And uncle is very fallible. And then Bhagavan is also fallible. Then you make a lot of effort, and then finally the uncle shows up. What will the uncle says? I have a catch here. Can you massage me here? That's what if Bhagavan is uncle, this is what will happen. So this desire, this longing is no different than wanting to see some beloved relative or to partake of beloved food, all these things is still Dvaita. Bhagavan becomes bhogya vastu, something to be enjoyed by me. And I become bhokta in relation to Bhagavan. Oh, that's very easy because already I was bhokta. Now I thought I'll have some spiritual bhogya in the form of Bhagavan. This is crazy. And this is explained very well. The craziness of this is explained very, very extremely properly. You know where? In the Bhagavad Gita itself. Which chapter? Any guesses? 11th chapter. What is called Vishwarupa Darshana. And at the end of the 10th chapter, we find Arjuna making popcorn. Oh, he made popcorn? Yeah, that is the origin of popcorn. And why did he make popcorn? He made popcorn because he wanted to sit back, relax, and enjoy Bhagavan's show while forgetting that he himself is included in the show. He himself means his body, mind, sense complex is included in the show. He made some popcorn, sat down, and said, I have a desire. I want to see your full form. I want to see you. You say you are everything. Maya, because he had heard the 9th chapter. In the 9th chapter, Bhagavan declared, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani. न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरं भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः. So he had already declared, by me everything is pervaded. I am everything. I am everywhere. Nothing is separate from me. Oh, can I look at that? Can I see? I want to see. Popcorn is ready, please. Please, Lord Krishna, I've been waiting for this kind of an entertainment. And Bhagavan sighs. It's not a sigh of relief. It's a sigh of, okay, 10 chapters done. And still you are wanting this. What is wrong with you? You heard the 2nd chapter that you are indestructible, you are without a second, you are the only thing. You heard the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapters, which talk of karma yoga, which talk about a lifestyle that is inconducive to this knowledge. The lifestyle is not by itself, it is tethered to gaining this knowledge, to qualifying you to gain this knowledge. Then you wanted to know about sannyasa in chapter 5. Then also I obliged you. I talked about what is sannyasa, etc., etc. Then I also talked about how you, my dear fellow, are not ready for sannyasa. And what you need to do is just get ready for it. And you have this God-given war, this duty right in front of you. Finish it. Do it. And you're not killing anybody because I have already taken care of them. You are just, you're just a play fighting. It's a little with the Lego bricks. You have two people fighting with Lego figures. That's why it's called Lego, because you have to let go of that. And then, so this is this is the whole thing. And he heard that in chapter 5. Then he said, yeah, but he complained again. That's why we love Arjuna so much, because he's a quintessential jiva. And then, so what did he complain? My mind is not focused. It's going here, it's going there, it's going everywhere. How to focus the mind? That's why we had chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. How to focus, how to sit, how to breathe, what to do, what to not do, what to eat, how much to eat, what not to eat. All these things. And then, then, yeah, but what are we doing this for again? I forgot. Okay, this is for, for understanding yourself as Bhagavan. 7th chapter is Nirupanam of Bhagavatta. What is Bhagavan? Everything. Yeah, but what happens after I die? I want to know what happens. All right, chapter 8. Chapter 8. After you die, this is what happens. And therefore, this is why Jivan Mukti, free while alive, that's what you need to choose, because after you die, you are just a jiva on the assembly line of Lord Yama's factory. He just throws you rebirth. That's what he just throws you in various birth canals. That's what he does. So better to have mukti right now. Chapter 8. And then what? Then, yeah, that sounds very nice. I think I want to do that. But you know what? Can you just tell me something that nobody else knows? And if everybody knows this, this knowledge is not special for me. I want to have this special knowledge only for me. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Anuttamam. Like this, he says, okay, I'll tell you a royal secret which nobody knows. Pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam. It is very wonderful to hear. It is unopposed to dharma. It's unopposed to swadharma. It's unopposed to everything that you're doing. This is what you are. And this is what you are, none other than Bhagavan. And this Bhagavan is me alone, O Arjuna. And I am spread all over the universe. I am all pervasive. Yeah, but do you have other forms? Some other thing like all pervasive means what? Chapter 10. If chapter 10 is the reclamation of intellectual property right by Bhagavan. Okay. And so there he says, well, this is, if you can sing well, that song which is in your throat is not you, it's me. If you can cook well, that's not you, that's me. And he then takes all the wonders of the world and he said, this is also me. Vedanam Samavedosmi. I am the Samaveda among the Vedas. Why? Because Sama is very beautiful, musical. And so he says, I am Sama among the Vedas. Among the mountains, I am Meru. Like this, he says. Among the ancestors, I am the noblest ancestor, Aryaman. And so, like this reclamation of intellectual property rights, still Arjuna is not convinced and he says, okay, I want to see everything that you said just now. I want to see it for myself. Give me darshan. Bhagavan said, okay, fine. Dadami te divya chakshu. So he says, you can't see with these eyes. You need Google glasses. That's the first origin of what now has been badly copyrighted as Google glasses. Some 3D vision he gave him, 4D vision, where he could see everything. And then, for the second time in the Bhagavad Gita, and even though they were in the open and there were no doors, Arjuna heard a knocking sound. They were his own knees. He started to have a second panic attack because he just saw, he saw some horrible things. Popcorn jumped out of the container, strewn all over the place. Who can eat popcorn in this situation? Who can eat anything for that matter? And his eyes grew wide and he was gripped with fear. Sweating uncontrollably, he started to circumambulate the Lord and say, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Whatever pramada I have done, mistakes. Yadyat pramadam kritam maya. Whatever pramada I have done. Ahara nidrashaya bhojaneshu. Like whenever we ate, whenever we climbed trees, whenever we stole mangoes from other people's yards and did all kinds of mischief. I just thought you were a friend. I thought you were my uncle. That's why, okay, the example of God as uncle came. So I thought you were my uncle. I didn't think of you as Bhagavan at all. And now I see that here, what did he see? He says, Pashyami Devanstava Deva Dehe. And all your mouth is like a fire vacuum. It's hoovering up the Kauravas. And some of them, in their fear to save themselves, are hanging between your teeth as though you forgot to floss. I'm not making this up. The Bhagavad Gita says this. Oh, Bhagavad Gita knows the word for floss. No, it doesn't say that, but it does say hanging between the teeth. Duryodhana is hanging between the teeth. Kechid vilagnaha dashanantareshu. Yeah, dashana means teeth, biters. Yeah. And so Kechit means some of them. Vilagnaha means stuck between the teeth because they were trying to save themselves. And they could just hold on to the Lord's teeth because the Lord is huge. And this, 6 foot Dushasana, Duryodhana, etc., they are all just few inches when they come into the mouth. And they are all delivering themselves into this mouth of fire. And Arjuna says, oh my God, these are the people I was trying to save. These were the people I did not want to fight. And they are all just like me. They are my friends. They are my cousins. They are my uncles. And then if that is their fate, what is my fate? And then he says, enough, enough, enough. Chakrinam, Gadinam, come to the, for my love very much. Come on, where is your flute? Where is your peacock feather? And where is your yellow pitambara clothes? And where is your nice smiling demeanor? Come back. Come back before it is too late, before I just faint right here on the battlefield almost the second time. And that, in fact, is the summary of the entire whole chapter. And then Bhagavan again obliges, okay, here I am back. Mop your brow and take a bathroom break if you need, and then come back because you're so scared. And then, just relax, drink some water, come back. And so this is, this is very important because even though they have finished, more than half of the Bhagavad Gita, that penchant of Arjuna, that kind of a desire to see Bhagavan, to have darshan, doesn't go. It's a deep rooted longing coming out of a sense of ignorance. Especially when you title a text Saddarshanam, you demand darshan. Where is it? I want to see it now. I want to see it. And what is Maharshi saying? Don't see it. You can't see it. You can only be it. You can't see it. You should be it. And here, that's why the question of sadhana is well into 1/4 of the text. The question of what means to deploy, to get ready for this special darshan, a darshan of being rather than seeing, is deferred to the 10th verse, because of the fact that if the sadhana had come first, what would we have done? We would have just caught hold of the sadhana and not seen the vision, not understood what all it is about. Now, it's a very brilliant decision. Now to introduce the sadhana is a very brilliant decision because now one is not in danger of getting derailed. Now we know too well that the reason there is this longing, and what is this longing? The reason that there is this longing to see God or to see the source rather than to be the source, that longing is due to insecurity and due to the orientation that everything is just other than I. Everything is separated from me. So, because of that insecurity, one wants to see Bhagavan. One wants to have that, that kind of a, this is the problem, that kind of a desire to see Bhagavan. So, here he says that the sadhanas are not going to make Bhagavan come and appear in front of you. They are not. Why? Because that's not the point. That's not what you really want. No, no, but I really want Bhagavan. Okay, well, how are you going to feel? Tell me this. Bhagavan, let's say, comes, you pray, 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 and Bhagavan comes and stands in front of you because of the magic. Because of the magic of making two where there is one, because Bhagavan is endowed with Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is just magic. She is amazing. And so, aided by her, this Bhagavan comes and stands before you. Then what are you going to do? You're going to do namaskar. You're going to touch the feet and say, "Ha, wah, wah, how nice! Oh, better than the pictures." And and the crown is sheer gold, diamonds, crystals, platinum, all kinds of things. Can I touch your dhoti? This looks very expensive. And what fine embroidery, celestial embroidery, fantastic. And your Angavastram is out of this world. In fact, you are out of this world. And oh, what a lovely smile, what a benign expression. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then you just do like this, forgive me all my trespasses. This is what it is. And then you do all kinds of things and you say, ah, ha, ha, wah, wah, kya baat hai, this is wonderful. And then what are you going to do? Then you're going to look at your watch. I think it's time to cook. I think it's time to, pick up the child and go, okay, God, go on your way. I can't spend all day sitting in front of you because in the books you're supposed to appear briefly, and before my longing is gone, you're supposed to disappear. This is not a textbook darshan. This is some kind of this is a darshan that doesn't have adarshanam. Adarshanam means disappearance. It's an appearance without disappearance. What can I do? And then you just go, and then you say, oh, okay, but still you're feeling good. You go to pick up your child from school because it is time. And then as you're driving, you feel bathed in a wonderful energy and light, and then you're excitedly telling your child, wait, Bhagavan is waiting for us, and the child is also excited. And you come back and Bhagavan is still standing there. And then he says, what's there to eat? Then you say, oh my God, I have to cook for this one also. Not only my family, but for this one. So this is one way the scenario can go, right? And then another way the scenario can go is that Bhagavan comes, and by the time you try to touch his dhoti, Bhagavan disappears, leaving you sobbing again. And then what? Then you get together with a few other people and sing sad songs. Darshana kab doge. That is what it is. Darshana kab doge. That's why it's called sat sang. They sat and they sang. This is what it is. And so it is, this is what it is. It's a permanent separation. The desire for darshan comes out of this belief that I am separate. And if this desire is keeping on being watered by the miracle grow of sad songs, it is just going to blossom and take your peace away, leave you in pieces. And so, therefore, this verse number 10 is an interruption to that. So, Saddarshana sadhanani, the sadhanas for the quote unquote, we have to say now, the darshan of this Sat. What are they? So they fall into some kinds of, few kinds of things. Kayikam karma. Kayikam karma means physicalized action, the kind that we are going to do day after tomorrow. The homa is a physicalized action, kayikam karma. And then vachikam karma, oral action like chanting, parayana, singing, vachikam karma. But in puja, which is kayikam, physicalized action, we are also chanting, yes, but predominantly it is about pouring the ghee, putting the flower, all whatever it might be, the steps involved. And along with that, you chant, but it is primarily known as kayika, means physicalized action. Then you do bhajans. While doing bhajans, also you are, what are you doing? What is that? Some kind of bells you are doing, or you may be playing the harmonium or the tanpura or something like that. Still, it's primarily vachikam. And then you say, I don't like either of these. I'm just going to meditate and say my mantra. Manasam karma. These are the primary forms of prayer. And so those prayers are, if it is, what is that called? Mental. If it is manasam karma, then it is nama, taking the nama of Bhagavan. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Like this, taking the nama, repeating the mantras, all the time. And these are all the mantras. Om Dum Durga Yai Namaha. Durga mantra. So like this, there are so many mantras, and those mantras are chanted. And here I don't visualize Bhagavan in any particular way. I don't visualize Durga Mataji, nothing, or Shiva or Vishnu. I'm just chanting. So it is a nama japa, or it could be akriti. Akriti means you have an icon, an ishta devata, to whom the worship is offered through this icon. It's not that the idol is being worshipped. That is just idol talk. Okay, we don't worship idols. And so the idols are a means to reach Bhagavan and to see what this Bhagavan is and to connect to Bhagavan. And so this nama kriti saparyaha. Saparyaha means various kinds of pujas. They are in plural because these three forms of physicalized action, mental action, and verbal action, all of them are included in this word, very nice word, saparyaha. Then there is, in this kind of a worship, two things happen. First is we have to understand worship is a karma. Worship is a karma, action. Any kind of worship is a karma. And one thing we know about action is what? What is that one thing we know? Action gives rise to result of action. That is, the action and results of action are connected inextricably. This we know. So then every action begets a result. And so this action of worship of Bhagavan is no exception. That also yields results. The results are of two kinds. First one is called Drishtaphala, immediate results. So after you do the puja, you are tired because you have to work very hard and gather everything together and make everything happen. But then you are glowing. You have peace of mind. This is the immediate result. Then we have Adrishta Phala. Adrishta for short. Nickname is called Adrishta. Adrishta means unseen results of action, which are kept in abeyance and which translate into comfortable situations either here in this life itself or in the hereafter. So, these two kinds of results, the puja or any kind of saparya, yields. Now, even in this, there is a gradation, very interesting. In Manasa puja, like japa, in japa we have a lot of drishtaphala, very little adrishta. Why? Because everything you have visualized in the mind. Oh Lord Shiva, Ratnaih Kalpitamasanam Himajalaihi Snanam cha Divyambaram. I chant in the mind, meaning, oh Lord Shiva, I'm imagining for you a wonderful seat studded with gems, a seat of gold, a throne of gold studded with gems. And then I'm going to bathe you with the Ganga water collected from the glaciers, and fresh spring water before even Ganga has a name and before she starts to flow. I go to the origin and then bathe you with that. And then I give you this kind of payasam. Everything is happening. It's all talk. Nothing is there. So there is no adrishta, very little adrishta. But drishta phala, you feel the best after meditation. Lot of drishta phala and then very little adrishta. And then on the other end of the continuum, You do a puja, an elaborate puja, and Homa people, when you will see day after tomorrow when you log into the Homa, you will see that what will you see? You will see that there is a lot of effort involved. There is a lot of effort, and this effort leads to adrishta, lot of punya, adrishta. And then the immediate results is exhaustion, ayasa. Very little drishta phalam, very little immediate result. And then the middle one, singing bhajans, etc., a little bit, equal adrishta, equal drishta. This is the formula. Like the more effort you put, the more adrishta is generated. Because anybody can sit and say, "Oh Lord, I have imagined for you a nice throne. Where is it? It's in my imagination. Come there and sit." It's not requiring any effort. So this is the gradation of what are called drishtaphala and adrishtaphala as a result of various kinds of connecting to Bhagavan various ways through the organs of action, through the mind, and through speech, etc., etc. And so like this this so this if we keep aside drishtaphala and adrishtaphala, we'll revisit this later. But right now, in any kind of a puja, there is an immersive experience. There are points in the kirtan, bhajan, you forget you exist. Then you suddenly come back to yourself. That immersion is there. That immersion is also there in a Vedanta class. You forget, you have problems. And then after that, you say, "Oh, 1 hour went by so quickly. How did that happen?" And so this means there is what is called an akhandakara experience. There is an experience of akhanda. Akhanda means divisionless experience. And so that divisionless experience, what happens is that it is a baby, it's an appetizer. It's an appetizer to the divisionless I that I am seeking to discover with the study of texts such as Saddarshanam. So this divisionless experience is like a little appetizer. That's why when you go to the restaurant, especially for the first time, they will bring out something with compliments from the chef. Chef doesn't even know you. Why will he or she start to give you free things? The free things is just to lure you into wanting more. That's what it is. And you say, "Oh, this," and of course, free things always taste nice, all right? Yeah. So, so because you're not paying for them, they taste wonderful. So the free thing you are given, and then you eat that and say, "Oh my God, if this thing which I haven't even paid for is so nice, imagine the rest of the meal. Wow." So these pujas, the first function of these pujas, etc., is just like this little bit of, appetizer. In fact, the more expensive the restaurant, the less the food they give. That's how they make money. That's how they make money. And I went somewhere, where was it? In Vienna. I can never even forget. So I went to Vienna for some conference. And then there, I said I'm vegetarian and all these things. And to be on the safe side, I said vegan because, otherwise some fish or something will come. I didn't know. So fish sauce or something like that. So I said, "I'm vegan." So they said, "Yeah, and the chef has prepared something very wonderful for you." Three or four swamis, four of us sitting alone, separate on this table at the end of the room. Huge ballroom in this huge hotel, 300 people. And then, so we were sitting in one corner, all the vegan people together. And they said, this is a wonderful. And then it took very, very long. Everybody else's dishes had come and we were still waiting. And then the elder Swami who was sitting next to me, he said, I'm diabetic. I already took my insulin. How long is it going to be? And how long is it going to be? So then the other Swami had some nuts. So he gave him that. And then we were just waiting. Then the chef came and said, your appetizer plates will be ready very, very, very shortly. And he was talking in, very soft tones. Everything is soft, very big hotel, and all everybody has manners. Not like India, you're yelling, three dosas, table number 4. It's not like this at all. You know. So, so then, so then here everything is in hushed tones, and then they said you are going to have some. It's all made of the freshest, most organic greens, and then on this bed of greens, we are going to give you some quinoa, pilaf, and then on top of that, there's going to be an apple plum compote. And I didn't know the meanings of any of these words. I'd read them, of course, but who knows who has had compote before? And then, and then I said it's going to come, and then it is in a sauce. It is all thing in a sauce of pine nuts. And our mouth started to water. I said, oh, this is fantastic. Let it come. And then big plates came from the kitchen and we could hardly wait. And then when I looked, you needed a what is that called? That magnifying glass. The appetizer, the quinoa was put in a thimble and then upturned. And the bed of green was one palak leaf, okay? One leaf of spinach. And then the pine nuts, there was just some little puree of nuts. And this compote was some kind of a mashed up apple and what is that called? Plum in some little sauce. And then we just inhaled it, and then we had to wait for it. Was good, it was fine, but just not enough. And then we had to wait for the wait for the main course. And then the Swami sitting with me said, I think we have to Google some kind of, what should I say, some restaurants to go after this, because we will certainly not be full. So why are we talking about this? It's a tiny appetizer. So what you get in this puja, that kind of, oh, aha, this is wonderful. I forgot I had problems. I forgot that other people had problems. And more importantly, I forgot that I had problems with other people. And other people had problems with me. I had forgotten all of that. And then, since the subject matter of this longing is this Bhagavan, then that yearning for Bhagavan becomes greater and then greater. And then that is why the puja, any kind of a, kirtan, bhajan, or meditation is highly addictive. And it's not a bad addiction, because here you are one with yourself. You are one with yourself rather than wanting an object of addiction that is away from you. So that's why it's not really an addiction. It is an immersion. It's an immersive experience where the bhakta and the subject matter of the bhakti, which is Ishvara, quote unquote, become one. They were already one, but here the oneness is palpably felt. And that's why there is sukha, joy. But that sukha, as soon as it arrives, it appears to depart. One comes out of the satsang, one comes out of the bhajan, one comes out of the Vedanta class and says, oh, it's over. Oh. And, that is my wishful thinking, okay, about the part about the Vedanta class. So then, there is a kind of a longing. Yeah, thank you, Vivian. So there is a kind of a longing. And so this is there's a kind of a longing for more. And so this is the very important role of puja. Because the desire for things other than myself is directed to the desire for Bhagavan, because simply put, things other than myself, Anatma, is also Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not Anatma, Anatma is Bhagavan. So instead of going to some resource, why not go to the source? Yeah. What we have done is we have outsourced the desire for Bhagavan onto various things and projected it. So go back to the source. And so, therefore, the puja is very enlightening. The experience of puja is very enlightening. And then what happens is it's enlightening because first is the experience of that oneness. And then the second one, the second thing is that that experience of oneness gives that lived experience of oneness gives the insight into what is it that I am seeking. I am seeking not things, not people, not situations that are conducive to me, but I'm seeking. I'm seeking this obliteration, complete obliteration of duality. This is what I'm seeking. So this is the first function of puja. The second function is also a little bit related, but it's a slightly different point, but a related point. The second function of puja is to invoke Bhagavan as the Jagat Karta, Jagat Dharta, Jagat Samharta, meaning the one who has manifested the universe, the one who is non-separate from the universe, yet is guarding and sustaining this universe, and unto whom this universe resolves at the end of this particular cycle of manifestation. So this is understanding Ishvara in from the standpoint of all laws. And who is the one who is seeking or invoking Ishvara? The hapless, helpless, hopeless Jiva, who has lost all hope. Why? Why me? What's happening to me? Why am I not getting this? How to do this? Where to go? What to do? And then I am small. I am an idiot. I don't have anybody. Nobody cares. Nobody loves me. This is the person. So this is the person seeking what? Seeking to invoke the whole, seeking to invoke the total. The individual connects to the total in puja, in kirtan, in bhajan, in meditation, in any of these things. The sad, hopeless, dejected, disenchanted, depressed individual seeks the total for some comfort. And then what do? We have all these words. What are the words? We have, we say, unto you who is the Lord of the universe, Namaha. This is the 108 names, which are really, really very, very wonderful. So, how do the 108 names go? They go like this. Well, you know, as for the one who is all Shakti, Namaha. Namaha means my surrender. I don't know what you do. I don't know why you do this. And I don't know why it is targeted to my life. And I don't know what is the cause of my disenchantment, disillusionment, depression, dejection, all these things. Life in 4D. And then all this I don't know. And then, but yet, your word is the final word in my life. You are omniscient. And who am I? I'm still learning how to spell omniscient. And then elementary school rules start to come. Always I before E, except after C. Now, how do we spell omniscient? Again, this is what it is. Here I'm the one struggling to spell the word omniscient, and you are omniscience itself. You are all knowing, and I am, you are all knowing. I am small knowing. You are all pervasive. I barely pervade this body, and this one body that I have, I barely pervade. I'm always having an out of body experience. I'm so disconnected. And then, you are all, I am small, you are the cause. And what am I? Because of a few circumstances, I'm here. Because of this, I'm here. Because of that. And finally, you are God. I am at best odd. Okay. So, namaha unto that which is unlimited, which is limitless. When I say this, there are Ashtottaras, 108 names which have these words. There are 108 names. And so when I say namaha unto that which is all pervasive, who is saying that? The one that is small pervasive. Does the all pervasive pervade the small pervasive? Yes, definitely. So all that there is Bhagavan. I lose myself. The hapless, helpless jiva disappears. And you who is all knowing. And I have a complex. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm keeping on making mistakes. I don't know anything. And the small knowing one is subsumed in the all knowing one. No more small knowing I am. No more finite I am, because I'm praying. You are infinite. Does the infinite include this miserable praying being or not? Praying, pun intended. Preying also. Praying for some desires, material desires or another. So, does the all pervasive include this person praying? Yes, definitely. And so at the end of it, it's all Bhagavan. So prayer is extremely educative. It's very, very educative, because here we can sit and keep on saying all is Bhagavan, tree is Bhagavan, what else, sky is Bhagavan, ocean is Bhagavan, river is Bhagavan, mountain is Bhagavan, and everything is Bhagavan. In-law Bhagavan, outlaw Bhagavan, in-laws who behave like outlaws, Bhagavan. You can keep on saying this. But here you actually understand it in a way that is extremely immediate, that all is Bhagavan. That the one who is praying is is uh, is none other than that, is included in everything. So there is a feeling of protection. There is a feeling of no fear. This is the second function of prayer. The third function of prayer is to stop all impediments to knowledge, to this Saddarshana. Not a Saddarshana that is elusive, you have an experience and then after that it's all gone, but a Saddarshana that you can abide in, that stays with you. And so, therefore, this is a preparation. And then prayer has adrishta. And the adrishta for the mumukshu, jignasu, the seeker of knowledge, the seeker of freedom, is not to have some kind of a comfortable life. Oh, I want to go here, I want to go by the mountains. If you have a desire to go to the mountains, just tell me and I'll change the background. Okay, then we will be in the mountains. Just like that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe day after, who knows? Oh, I want to live in a rich mansion. That background is also there. I want to live in a cozy cottage. That background is also there. You can just have everything. It's all virtual anyway. So then, so this way, all these desires are there. But then for the mumukshu, the moksha becomes the foremost desire. So these desires don't trouble that much. But then in the process of gaining moksha, you know what happens? There are many, 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 many obstacles coming from the karma, from previous lives. They can come and they can attack. A sneak attack of karma, a sneak karmic attack can happen. And that's why one is vigilant and one prays so that this doesn't trouble. This does not trouble at all. How does it not trouble? Because the prayer generates adrishta. And then where is this karma coming from? The karma that suddenly makes me feel like dropping out of Vedanta because I didn't get my way, or nothing happened, or I thought I'm not making progress. Where did this feeling come from? Yesterday I was enjoying the teachings a lot, and today something happened. What happened? Karma attack. This is what it is. This is prarabdha attack. And so, what is this prarabdha? Adrishta, papa from a previous life or earlier in this life. Doesn't matter where it's from. So, now we pray to equip ourselves with more adrishta. This adrishta, this invisible long term effect of prayer goes and cuts that papa. This punya cuts that adrishta. So, for to attack adrishta, you need adrishta. So it's like a vaccine. The puja, the everything is like a vaccine to inoculate yourself from the viruses of papa. And as we are finding out in this pandemic, one shot is not enough. Then you go two, then you go three. Now they are saying four. And then they'll say, just take one for breakfast, one for lunch, one for dinner. You'll be fine. You won't catch this. It's almost coming to that now. So this is the idea. You inoculate yourself against your own bad karma, and then therefore you are you are not severed or derailed from the knowledge because there was a misunderstanding with another person who was studying. There is a misunderstanding with the teacher. Happens all the time. Misunderstanding with the teacher means there is some projection, some kind of a transference, and then because of that one feels like, oh, the teacher doesn't love me, and these are all coming from the past, from the unconscious. So the prayer clears the path to see the teacher only as a source of teaching, nothing else at all, only as a source of knowledge. And so therefore we shore up the punya so that the papa attacks don't really trouble us at all. Still some more one more effect of prayer we have to see how it helps to prepare the self for knowledge. We'll see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.